Yo, what's up guys? It's been a minute. I've been dealing with some real life stuff behind the scenes, but we are finally back. And honestly, it feels good to be here again. For those who are new, welcome. I am the Beaver. Here we talk about movies, pop culture, and franchises the way fans actually talk about them. Now, before we even talk about Doctor Doom, before we even talk about Kang, we need to take a moment of silence because the MCU finally did something brave that I was hoping for in my last video. She-Hulk is not in Avengers Doomsday. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I've never been happier. Not because I hate women, let's get that straight, but because Avengers movies should not be sitcoms. They're supposed to be world-ending events. We need to be at the edge of our seats, biting our nails out of nervousness, watching these movies. These movies are supposed to feel like modern mythology, like gods falling from the skies, empires collapsing, and reality itself being rewritten. So if you're trying to sell me Doctor Doom, incursions, Kang, and the literal fate of existence, I don't need to see people twerking on the big screen. I need to leave that theater staring at the wall thinking, what did I just witness? So thank you, Marvel. One less joke, one more chance to be taken seriously. Because Avengers Doomsday is not just another Avengers movie. This is Marvel's make or break moment. It's their time to turn it all around from what can only be described as a debacle of what we call the Multiverse Saga. So today, we are going to revisit a topic I discussed when I first started this channel. We are talking about 8 things I want to see happen in Avengers Doomsday. With Doomsday coming out this year, it's time to revisit this. Because this movie has to do what Phase 4 and Phase 5 couldn't. It has to make everything feel like it actually matters. Because right now, the MCU feels like a bunch of disconnected ideas that never fully pay off. Great characters get introduced and disappear. Big villains show up and get rushed. Huge concepts like the multiverse get introduced and then barely explored. Avengers Doomsday needs to be the moment where all of that snaps into place. This movie shouldn't feel like another chapter. It should feel like Judgment Day. So here are the 8 things I need to see in Avengers Doomsday. Not want, need, if this franchise is going to survive its own multiverse. Let's get into it.
Like this, subscribe, like this video.
Number 1. A good Doctor Doom. The man who stole the power of gods, conquered entire dimensions, ruled Latveria with an iron mind, outplayed Reed Richards more times than anyone wants to admit, and looked Thanos in the face and said, I can do better. That is Doctor Doom. Not a tantrum-throwing villain, not a CGI rage monster, not another time-traveling goofball. Doom is the final boss of ego, intellect, and ambition. Thanos wanted balance, Kang wanted control of time. Doom wants to rule because he believes the universe is safer under him. That's what separates him. Doom doesn't want to burn cities for fun. He doesn't laugh maniacally. He doesn't beg for approval. He walks into chaos and says, you all failed, now step aside. Doom is a king, a scientist, a sorcerer, and a god-level strategist, all in one. He can outthink Reed Richards, outmagic Doctor Strange, and outplan every Avenger in the room. But the scariest part, he's not wrong. When the multiverse is shattered, when Kang proves time is a lie, when the Avengers keep ripping holes in reality and calling it heroism, Doom looks at the wreckage and sees a simple truth. You gave power to people who don't deserve it. And that's when Doom steps in, ruling. Because Doom doesn't believe in freedom, he believes in competence. He believes that order is mercy, that chaos is cruelty, that heroes with emotions, trauma, and ego should not be steering reality. So when Doom takes over a universe, he doesn't say, fear me. He says, I got this. And that's why he's terrifying. Not because he wants the world to end, but because he wants to save it by taking it away from everyone else. And if Marvel gets Doom right in Avengers Doomsday, we won't be watching just another villain. We'll be watching a man who believes the Avengers are the real threat and might be right. Number 2, a darker tone. Avengers Doomsday cannot feel like a Marvel comedy. Not no jokes ever, but no tonal whiplash. No one-liners after billions just died. No quips over the ashes of entire universes. No haha 5 seconds after reality collapses. This movie should feel like Infinity War, Civil War, The Winter Soldier, The Dark Knight, Watchmen, you name it. Not just in look, in weight. Every scene should feel heavy. Every line should feel like it matters. Every silence shouldn't feel loud. Every conversation should carry one unspoken truth. We might not make it out of this. This isn't a movie about saving the day. This is a movie about holding the line while everything falls apart. People should be afraid. Heroes should be doubting themselves. Friendships should feel strained. Leaders should be cracking. No one should feel safe. And Doom shouldn't feel just like a villain. He should feel like a force of nature, like gravity, like a black hole, like something that doesn't hate you. It just erases you. You don't beat a hurricane. You don't outpunch an earthquake. You don't argue with a tsunami. You survive it, if you're lucky. That's how Doom should feel. Not a boss fight, not a CGI obstacle, an inevitable collapse moving toward the Avenger. When he enters the scene, the music should die. The jokes should stop. The room should feel smaller. Because when Doom walks in, hope walks out. That's the tone Avengers Doomsday needs. Not funny, not flashy, terrifying. The kind of movie where you leave the theater quiet, staring at the parking lot thinking, what if he's right? Do you guys remember a scene in Sicario when they're going through the Mexican border? You remember how tense that scene was? That's the kind of intensity we should feel from this movie. Number 3. Meaningful hero deaths. If Avengers Doomsday ends without a permanent hero death, Marvel is officially lying to us. Not fake out deaths, not they'll be back in phase 9, not a sacrifice that gets reversed with time travel 5 minutes later. Like real, final, gone, finito. Because Doom isn't Kang, he isn't Ultron. Doom is the villain who proved something terrifying. The Avengers were never prepared for him. He has to kill someone important. Not a Disney Plus side character, not a hero who just showed up, not someone whose toy line hasn't even started. Someone that hurts. Someone the audience has lived with for years. Someone who has unfinished arcs. Someone people expected to survive. The kind of death that makes the theater go quiet, where the whole theater is in shock. The kind of death that makes people go, oh, this is something else. Because that's what Doom is. He doesn't defeat heroes, he erases them. No speeches, no heroic music, no last second save, just Doom deciding you are no longer necessary. And that's it. 1 second they're here, 1 second they're gone. And the Avengers finally realize this isn't a battle they can win. This is a reckoning. This is Doom proving that their teamwork isn't enough. Their powers aren't enough. Their legacy ain't enough. And when a hero dies in Doomsday, it shouldn't feel epic. It should feel wrong. It should feel like something that wasn't supposed to happen. Because the moment Doom kills someone important, the audience understands the Avengers aren't the main character anymore. They are the survivors. Number 4. Doctor Strange joins Doom. Doctor Strange betraying the Avengers should be one of the most shocking moments in MCU history. Not because he's evil, but because he's right. Strange has seen what the Avengers haven't. He's seen universes erased, timelines collapsing, entire realities screaming and then going silent, the same heroes making the same mistakes over and over again. Every time someone saves the day, another universe pays the price. Every time the Avengers break time, somewhere else, everything dies. And Strange knows it. So when Doom comes to him and says, your heroes keep tearing holes in existence, I will close them. Strange doesn't hear a threat, he hears logic. He hears someone finally saying what he's been too afraid to admit. The Avengers are the problem. Doom isn't promising destruction, he's promising stability. No more reckless time travel, no more multiversal experiments, no more gods punching holes through existence. Just order. Just one controlled reality. Peace. That's what breaks Strange. Because Strange has watched a million versions of Earth die, a million versions of himself fail, and a million heroes lose. And Doom is the first man who says, I can stop it. So when Strange stands beside Doom, it shouldn't feel like a betrayal. It should feel like a tragedy. The man who once said, we're in the endgame now, finally realizing there is no winning, only minimizing the damage. That's what makes it horrifying. Not that Strange joins Doom, but that he does it calmly, rationally, reluctantly, like a doctor choosing which patient gets to live. And when the Avengers realize Strange is gone, they don't just lose a teammate. They lose the only man who understood how bad it really was. Number 5. Reed Richards leads. Reed Richards should lead the Avengers. I've said this before and I'll say it again. It should not be Spider-Man. It should not be Sam Wilson. It's Reed Richards. Because Doom doesn't fear strength. He fears intellect. You don't beat Doom by punching harder. You beat Doom by thinking faster. This movie should not be Avengers versus a villain. It should be Reed Richards versus Doom. Two men who understand the universe better than anyone else, coming to completely opposite conclusions. Reed believes in choice, chaos, humanity's right to fail, while Doom believes in order, control, and a universe that doesn't need heroes anymore. One says people deserve to choose their own fate, the other says they've proven they can't, and neither of them are fully wrong. Reed knows Doom is dangerous, but he also knows Doom might be right about one thing. The multiverse cannot survive the Avengers. So when Reed leads the team, he shouldn't feel confident. He should feel desperate. A man trying to prove that freedom is still worth the cost, while Doom is proving that the cost is too high. Every plan Reed makes is a gamble. Every move Doom makes is calculated. Reed is fighting for a future where people get to be human. Doom is fighting for a future where reality actually survives. That's not a hero versus villain story. That's a philosophical war. And the Avengers should be caught in the middle, wondering which side they're really on. Number 6. Finish the Kang story. Once again, you can't just drop Kang. You can't hand wave him away. You can't pretend the Multiverse Saga didn't happen. Kang defined this era. He was the architect of timelines, the man who made the multiverse dangerous. So Doom doesn't just replace him. Doom takes him, kills him, outplays him, takes his throne. This shouldn't be a footnote. It should be a statement. Kang built an empire out of time. Infinite versions of himself, infinite timelines, infinite contingencies, and Doom walks through all of it with precision. Where Kang tried to control when things happen, Doom controls who gets to exist. Kang treats time like a chessboard. Doom flips the board over and says, "You were playing games, I am building a kingdom." Doom should stand over the wreckage of the TVA, the shattered timeline, the corpses of Kang variants, and deliver the coldest line in the MCU. "You played with time, I rule it." That's how you pass the torch. Not quietly, not awkwardly, with Doom proving he is above the multiverse itself. And in that moment, the Avengers realized they weren't in the Kang saga. They were in the prelude to Doom. Number 7. XMen versus Avengers. This ain't fan service. This ain't a crossover poster. This is ideological warfare. Mutants don't trust the Avengers. To them, the Avengers are government adjacent, publicly celebrated, protected by the law. While mutants are hunted, feared, blamed for things they didn't do. And the Avengers, they don't trust mutants either. Because mutants are unregulated, unpredictable, born with God-level power. No training, no oversight, no control. That's a powder keg. And Doom lights the match. He doesn't need to lie. He just needs to nudge a little bit. A mutant incident here, an Avengers intervention there, a city destroyed, a narrative twisted, and suddenly, it's they started it, no you did. That's how wars really begin. Not with villains, with misunderstanding. Doom doesn't fight them, he lets them fight each other. And while Earth's mightiest heroes and mutant kind tear themselves apart, Doom builds his new world in the background. Because the scariest thing Doom ever does is make everyone else prove he's right. This isn't Avengers vs. X-Men for hype. This is the MCU collapsing under its own contradictions. Heroes who can't agree on what saving the world even means anymore. And Doom watching from above, smiling. Number 8. A true Endgame sequel. Avengers Doomsday has to feel like the real sequel to Endgame. Not just another chapter, a reckoning. And yeah, I used to say I didn't want Doom to be a Tony Stark variant, but honestly, that idea has aged dangerously well. Imagine this. Dr. Doom is a variant of Tony Stark who survived Endgame and broke every vision Tony ever had, every nightmare, every suit of armor around the world idea. That wasn't paranoia. That was him seeing Doom, a version of himself who actually finished the job, who didn't die a hero, who lived long enough to decide the world doesn't deserve free will. So when Doom says he wants to control reality, he's not talking like a tyrant. He's talking like Tony Stark after he finally snapped. I tried it your way, now I'm doing it the right way. And let's be honest, there's a reason Marvel is re-releasing Avengers Endgame before Doomsday. That's setup. Because everything in Endgame had consequences. Time travel, the blip, the stones, the multiverse cracking open. And Doom is the bill coming due. Doom isn't random. He's created. Born from Avengers' arrogance, from playing God, from rewriting reality and pretending it was fine. And if Doom is a Stark variant, then Doomsday isn't Avengers versus Doom. It's Avengers versus their own legacy, their own mistakes, their own hubris, their own we know best mentality. That would be poetic. That's Marvel actually saying you saved the universe, but you broke something doing it. And Doom, he's just a version of Tony Stark who decided next time I won't let anyone else decide. That's how you end a saga. Not with a battle, with the truth that Endgame created Doomsday. When you put all of this together, a true Doctor Doom, a darker tone, real death, Doctor Strange turning, Reed Richards leading, Kang being erased, the Avengers and X-Men at war, and Endgame sins finally coming due, you don't get another Marvel movie. You get a reckoning. Avengers Doomsday shouldn't feel like Phase 7. It should feel like the moment the MCU finally admits we broke the universe trying to save it. Doom isn't just the next villain, he is the consequence. The embodiment of time travel abuse, multiverse arrogance, heroes thinking they're smarter than reality. He's not here because he's evil, he's here because the Avengers made him necessary. Because for the first time in the MCU, since Thanos, the villain might be right. And if Marvel has the courage to go there, if they let Doom be cold, if they let the heroes fall, then Avengers Doomsday won't just be a movie. It'll be the moment MCU finally grows up. Darker, smarter, and unforgettable. Well, that's the end of the video. It's so good to be back and appreciate every one of you that stuck around. Let me know in the comments if there's anything I missed or if there's anything you want to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.